You've probably seen many drop caps on the web, those big, beautiful letters that appear at the beginnings of articles, essays, or blog posts. Let's explore a common way for creating drop caps, discuss their strengths and weaknesses, and then we'll look at a more robust approach to creating compelling and accessible drop caps on the web. Here's our sample design. If you want to follow along, you can use this URL on CodePen. And if you'd like to skip ahead to the finished version, that's available on CodePen too. Let's add a drop cap to the very first paragraph. To start, add a class of hasDropCap to that paragraph. With that class in place, we can use the first letter pseudo-selector to style, you guessed it, the first letter of the paragraph. Let's start small. Add these style rules to your page. Pretty immediate change, right? Your first letter rule turned the first letter of that hasDropCap paragraph into a great big C, styled in a nice sans serif typeface. To complete the effect, add a few more lines to that rule. These additional lines complete our drop cap effect. The big bold letter is floated off to the left, and some M-based margins provide a little spacing between it and the surrounding text. Now you might notice that the letter is a little lower in Chrome or Safari than it is in Firefox. This is because in the font, there's actually some space reserved above and below each letter for ascenders and descenders. One way of closing up that gap involves reducing the line height on the drop cap. Looks a bit better, doesn't it? However, what if you wanted to add a background color to your drop cap? Sadly, that's broken the illusion. Our background color shows that while the height looks similar, they're not the same. Firefox has a nice uniform padding all around the letter, but it's misaligned in Chrome and Safari. It's possible that these browsers might get patched in the future and properly render our drop caps. But right now, if you need a truly uniform layout across all three browsers, a simple tweak of the line height won't cut it. At this point, let's explore a different approach. Remove the class from your drop cap paragraph and wrap the first letter of your paragraph in a span with a class of drop cap, like so. And then update your drop cap selector to match. That's interesting. By styling a span instead of first letter, your drop caps are now consistently sized across the three browsers. They're still too tall, though, but we can clean that up. First, since we're not using line height to shorten the drop cap anymore, we can set the line height on our span element back to 1. Now, let's add some new rules targeting the drop caps before and after pseudo-selectors. These rules draw the span closer to the outer edges of the box, erasing the extra spaces. And you're done. Okay, not quite. Let's check out what this design sounds like.
C. Errol McKinney Highsmith, born Carol Louise McKinney on May 18, 1946.
What you just heard was Apple's voiceover screen reader, speaking the first word of your article, Carol, as if it was two words, C followed by Errol. This is because the screen reader sees that span element and treats it as a separate word. To fix this, we'll need to bolster our design a bit. First, drop this into your CSS. Now go to the HTML for your design and change your drop cap to this. Wow, yeah, that looks like a lot. But really, there are just two things happening here. First, your drop cap is surrounded with a span that has an ARIA hidden attribute set to true. That basically tells assistive technology, like screen readers, to ignore it. That'll keep the split word from being read aloud. The second word has a class of SR only, which visually hides the text. But it will be accessible to screen readers, ensuring that they don't hear C followed by Errol, they simply read Carol.
Carol McKinney Highsmith, born Carol Louise McKinney on May 18, 1946.
And now our design's finished. It looks as good as it sounds. By the way, the completed project here on CodePen has both variations I covered in this video, so you can compare, contrast, and experiment with the code on your own. And these are just two different approaches for creating drop caps on the web. Most of the time, first letter will be all you'll need for your designs. But whatever approach you choose, it's important to remember that everyone browses the web differently. And our designs have to be beautiful for them too. For more tips, check out our resources section for links to articles and other tutorials that can help you expand on the concepts we've covered here. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other Take 5 videos, as well as the entire course catalog here at Gymnasium.